What's going on, you guys? Sydney here from SESU TV, and right now I have a very special guest. We have filmmaker Rasheed Pierre. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
I'm good. So, tell people about yourself really quickly.
Well, I'm a 20-year-old filmmaker from Bronx, New York. I was born in Miami, Florida, and I'm currently a student here at Southern Connecticut State University.
All right. So, kind of bring us to how you got into film at such a young age.
At a young age, I was always into films. I used to like watching movies, and I remember when I was about 10 years old, I watched this movie about a ghost, and it made me feel like some way that I never felt before. I said, how can someone make me feel like that? How can another film director make me feel that way? And I still can't believe that I felt that way about this movie. So in high school, I told myself I really love visuals. I love seeing things, and I said maybe let me try making movies or making videos. And I got into it in high school, and I just fell in love with it ever since.
All right. So you've done a couple films already, throughout college and everything. You recently just put out a film called For the Film. Can you explain more about that?
Yes. I've had this idea for a long time, but over the break, I passed it to my team and asked them, do you want to make this? So it's about a guy who's struggling to find money. He meets up with an old friend who is the son of a drug dealer boss, and they go on this mission to get his name recognition. So during this mission, they go to make a hit on another customer of the drug dealer boss's father. But the main character, Chris, does a really big twist on the main plan. So I wanted to use this as a web series. So for those that haven't watched the first one, just know that there's a second one coming.
Hey, you can check that out. We'll have it in the description down below so you guys can watch it.
So I really wanted to make an action pack because I love action movies. And I just wanted to show, being from New York, the gritty feeling of this people who just used to make hits for money. It's all for money. And I want to show how a lot of people these days do things for money, and I'm gonna show throughout this series how that can hinder your life, you know what I'm saying? How that can affect your family and things like that.
And so being from New York, there's plenty of films, there's a bunch of Broadway and everything. And I know Spike Lee is one of your big inspirations, so can you kind of talk about that and what his films kind of do for you?
Well, I watched my first Spike Lee movie about 5 years ago. I was young, and I just always heard rappers and hip hop talk about Spike Lee. I'm who is that? I looked him up and I watched his movie Do the Right Thing. That was the first film I've ever seen.
That was the first Spike Lee movie.
Yeah, and it was it made me feel I was in New York. I felt I was in the movie. Everyone dressed so hippie, and it was just amazing to me. And I started looking into more Spike Lee films, and then I finally met Spike at his Chirac screening. I met him, and the first thing he said to me, because I came in late, later than everyone, I mean 20 minutes late, he said, why are you late? He's like, do you want to be here? And I said, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm coming from the Bronx. And he's like, the Boogie Down? You from the Boogie Down? And I'm like, yeah. So I literally spoke to him one-on-one. There was no one else in the area. He was by himself, and it was just crazy. I was I can't lie, I was starstruck because my heart just dropped. I was like, that's Spike Lee. And then I stood next to his son, and he introduced me to his son, who then gave me his number. But I mean, I never really got into contact with his son yet, but I plan on probably one day getting mentorship from Spike, or maybe even working on a film with his son, who is also a filmmaker at NYU.
So would your dream goal be to work in a movie with Spike, or just produce a movie directly with him?
Yes, my dream goal would definitely be either to direct for Spike, who produces a film for me, or maybe even act for him, you know what I'm saying? It would just be my dream to just be on any production with him, or just to learn the things that he uses to make his film so great.
Now, let's cast your dream movie. Who would be the actors? What would be the plot? And what would you want people to get out of
Oh, I actually thought of this. That's the funny thing. I thought of this before. My dream movie would be a film about a doctor who finds a cure to cancer. So it's almost like a fiction movie, because we all know that there's no cure to cancer today. But I want to make a movie where that there is a cure. So I think I would cast definitely Denzel.
Always gotta have Denzel.
Always. I would cast Denzel as my doctor. As my patient, I would probably cast maybe Tom Cruise. Probably.
Oh, you just want to go.
I want to go big time.
Just big time.
Yeah, big time. I want to go Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan, and probably 50 Cent. It's funny to say, but Curtis Jackson is my favorite actor. Like, out of everyone, it's not because like he's the best one. He just like makes it so real.
Yeah, he has that like acting feel.
It
but
makes
that's
it real.
also because he's went through kind of some of the experience.
Exactly.
So let's talk about one movie in particular, just as an African American film that's going to be big coming out next month, Black Panther. So how excited are you about that for that movie?
I'm really excited because especially with Ryan Coogler, the director, and Michael B. Jordan, that team is just crazy. A crazy team coming from making Fruitvale Station to making Creed, and then now to being the first black director to work for Marvel. It's like a crazy thing for like the industry, you know what I'm saying? And it's like gives me hope as a young black director myself coming up in the industry to know that there's room for us, you know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to see it because especially with Michael B. Jordan as the lead, like it will be like something crazy for like the universe, you know what I'm saying? We need that right now.
And also you're an athlete here on campus, so kind of go through how, you know, balancing your sport, homework, class, and then be like, oh, I want to do a film at the same time. So how did you kind of measure that?
Oh, it's very hard. It was hard at first because I had problems with the coaches with finding time to work out, but also like finding time to make my films and stuff. And I kind of found a balance last summer actually. I found a way how to like work on my films in the morning time of the day when I just get up, and then like devote the rest of my day to like athletics. But football has made me like really able to like to make movies, because on a day on the set it would get tiring, and I would like think of the times in football where I'll be tired of something and like what things I used to get through that, and I would use that on set. And it was like I could actually remember, for example, I was on an NYU set. A friend brought me as a production assistant to learn and just see the whole field. And like the director was like getting frustrated because his actors like they wanted to go home and they didn't finish a scene. And I realized like I felt like sometimes in football I like want to go home sometimes, but like I found a way to push through it. And I knew that if I was a director on that set, I would use what I learned from football to get through that, you know what I'm saying?
The director yelling is similar to
exactly.
Your coach,
it's almost like a coach, yes.
Alright, so anything else you want to tell people kind of about the For the Family series and what they can just expect watching it if they haven't already?
Well, for the series I plan on making probably either 2 or 3 more parts. I don't want to do too much, but I really want to show like the background of a guy who's struggling and uses money as his motive, but it backfires on him. But the ending, I feel like I'm gonna leave that for you to find out yourself. But my goal for this film is to show how money is the root of all evil, you know what I'm saying? Like money isn't everything. It can like really do a lot of damage to your life if you don't do it in a positive way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, that's been all from here, guys. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube at SCSU TV, and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SCSU TV. Now, Duke, do you want to drop any of your social media?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Duke.thetruth and on Facebook at Rasheed Duke Pierre.
Alright, guys. Sidney Jones signing up from SCSU TV. See you next time.